All right. Welcome back to Ever Near, or welcome for the first time. Either way, thanks for being here. We got me, I'm Davis. We also got
Ethan. I'm returning again.
he returns. And we're going to be doing our third part of the Family A Proclamation. So this might be the last part. There might be another part. We'll see.
I think it's safe to say there's probably going to be another part.
With how we've been going,
We've been going 2 paragraphs at a time, and there are a little bit more. So,
all right. Well,
this next paragraph is
see how far we
super
get.
short. So we'll see if you can probably get through this one pretty quickly.
We'll see.
We'll see. Here we go. All right. So this is again in the Family Proclamation. We declare that means by which mortal life is created to be divinely appointed. We affirm the sanctity of life and of its importance in God's eternal plan.
You should start.
I'm trying to think. I have to read it again. I don't know. If you have thoughts, share your thoughts, because I don't know where to begin.
I don't have a lot to say on it until I start talking. Then I'll probably have a lot to say on it. But the first thoughts that came to my now I'm having more thoughts. Yep. Okay. So I guess the first thing is life, and it's important. It's important. So to talk briefly about a very controversial topic.
Everything's controversial.
Going off of this, it sure is. A huge debate is abortion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, I don't think people have problem with saying life is precious later on, like an adult. It's like, yeah, that's precious. Like, people don't typically just go and kill people and think that's fine. It's like, I got a gun, I'm gonna go kill my neighbor. Like, that's not normal. People don't normally do that. It happens, sure, but the normal sane person doesn't just go around taking life.
Right.
Because they know it's important.
Mm-hmm.
They know life is something special. But when it comes to abortion, there's some different feelings about it. It's really sad because people recognize that life is important, but only in some forms. And I'm not sure if it's just because Satan is doing a really good job. Well, I'm sure that's part of it, no matter what. But I'm not positive exactly when it changed to that. It's so sad because it's gotten to the point where convenience is more important than life.
Mm-hmm. And that's something that is really heartbreaking to me, because like life is something that is so precious, and it says it here in the Family Proclamation. It says life is precious. It's something, there's divinity in life. And I think everyone can agree with that, regardless of where you may stand with this. But it's unfortunate that people don't apply that in this scenario. And people have their excuses for why it's different.
Yeah.
But it's really not. All life, whether it's born or unborn, is precious. And life, at least I believe, life starts from the moment of conception. That life is precious, even then. And I think that's something that is very important. And it's something that I believe that we should live by. Not just a society, not you. Or not just you.
I'm exempt.
You're exempt, I guess.
Okay, I won't have an abortion.
I know how badly you wanted one.
I'm not a woman. Anyways. Yeah, no, it's but really it's so sad because people see the value of life in some things, but once that life becomes inconvenient, it's not as important anymore. Like, it's to the point where it's like, oh, well, if I don't like them or they're inconvenient, they're not that important anymore. It's crazy to think how just life is not as important as it should be. Like, God gave us life. That is a pretty big thing. And when we're treating it as trivial or inconvenient, that's kind of like spitting in his face. Just like, this life, it's not that important. I don't care about your gift you gave.
At the end of the day, that's still a son or daughter of God. Like, that's still his. There was purpose to that life that he had, like, a plan for. And it's exactly spitting in God's face. It was like, okay, well, this is inconvenient for me, so no, God. You're like, this child that you may have wanted me to have is, nope. I don't want this right now because I'm in my 20s and I want to live my life, or whatever the excuse is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really sad thing, because if you understand God's plan, he wants us to live on earth, to become more like him. That's what he wants.
Yeah.
That is part of the plan. We can't follow the plan as a spirit. We need bodies to follow the plan. And of course, I don't think those unborn children will be punished because of what their mother did. I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
Their spirits aren't going to be like condemned to hell because their parent decided to have an abortion. But it's part of the plan.
Yeah.
It's part of God's plan that we live on this earth. If it wasn't, he wouldn't have created it. He wouldn't have created us.
Yep.
And the only way that happens, the only way the plan moves forward, is if people have children. And that's why it's so important to have children, to not abort them, because it's like there's so many different arguments, from it's my body to this, that. Some of the arguments are like, well, there's plenty of children, just adopt a children. I'm gonna have abortions when I'm ready. I'll adopt a child. There's like so many different arguments, but what it really comes down to is life is sacred. And to actually follow God's plan, children need to be born. They need to grow up. They need to follow God. That's the only way it can happen. So denying that life, denying that child from having a life, you're really stepping in the way, trying to, and maybe you're not trying, but you are stepping in God's way.
Yeah.
You're stepping in the way, and you're like, nah, I know better than you. And that's not only really arrogant, but really sad too.
Yeah. You're preventing a lot of people from being able to have their chance on earth as well.
Yeah. So I mean, that's just one part of like how life is sacred and how it's not being seen as sacred at all. But there's another side of it that I kind of want to look at for a second, unless you have anything else to say about. So the other side, and these people I feel more compassion for, rather than with abortion, I just feel frustration. But people who, they get to the point where they don't think their own life is important anymore, to where they want to take it. They want to end their lives. And there's usually a lot of very bad things going on to them. That's why I can kind of empathize with them a little better, is because you don't typically go, oh, life is inconvenient, I'm just gonna kill myself. It's not the same as abortion. And yes, I will admit there's some cases with abortion where it is merited. There are things spoken of specifically in the church where there are cases it's okay. I wouldn't even say okay, actually. I would say it's permitted. But going back to like with people who are thinking of suicide, who are thinking of ending their own lives, not seeing it as important as it should be because of all they're going through. I have a lot more compassion for them personally. I mean, I've kind of been in that position, so maybe that's also another reason I have a little more compassion for them that are struggling with like thinking about ending their lives, thinking about cutting short that gift they've been given, because it's another way of not valuing life. And I know that sounds a little harsh because I know people who are thinking about suicide are going through a lot, usually. But life in all forms is important. Whether it's unborn or whether it's mature, all forms of life are important. Mm-hmm. Like in the Family Proclamation, it doesn't specify, it just says life.
Life as a whole is important, yeah.
So life is important. And the people who are struggling with that, like thinking of taking their own lives, that's not okay either. And I understand the struggle. Like I got to the point where it would have been so much easier to just end it. Like that would have been the easy way out. I wanted the easy way out.
Yeah.
Luckily for me, I had been taught, I knew God's plan. I knew that life wasn't going to be easy. And I knew that ending your life wasn't okay. If I hadn't been taught those things, if I didn't learn those things, 100% I would have committed suicide. 100%. But because of the gospel of Jesus Christ, I didn't. Because of the knowledge it gave me. I'm pretty pleased that I didn't. I'm happy I didn't. There's still days where I'm just like, man, it would be a lot easier if I could just come home, God, just beam me up. But it's another area where I think we don't value life, and unfortunately it's our own life even.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing, and I can relate to that one specifically. I went through very dark times in my life during my early teen years. When I had first left the church, that began my stage of depression and suicidal tendencies. I was in and out of hospitals because I tried to kill myself lots of times. Mm-hmm. And it was hard. It's a hard thing, but it is incredibly important to know that your life has meaning. It has worth. You are worthy of this life. No matter what you may be going through, no matter how hard of a time. And life is going to suck. You're going to get kicked in the teeth by life over and over and over again. You're going to fall down. But I can say this from personal experience. It'll always be worth it to get back on your feet. Every single time. It's a stupid metaphor that I heard from a movie, but even though there may be clouds in the sky covering up the sun, doesn't mean it's not there. You will find light again in your life, and you will find that worth of your own life again one day. I think that's something that I wish more people would understand and know, because sure, it's easier. Like, you'd be like, life is too hard. I don't want to have to pay taxes. I don't want to have to do all these things. Like, I'll see you guys later. That may be easier, sure. But it's not right. And it's not a good way to go either, because you're leaving behind a lot of things also. In place of curing your own hurt, you may be causing hurt. Yeah, it's just, life has value. In every form, like you said, either premature or mature, or like every life has value. Every single one. No matter the circumstance, no matter where you are in life, you've got value. That's something I wish a lot of people knew. I've lost some good people due to suicide, unfortunately. And I wish they had understood that more.
Yeah. I mean, our worth is like what a soul is worth, you could say, what we're worth, however you want to put it. It's more than we can comprehend.
Mm-hmm.
The one way I heard it that I really liked, this guy was asked, like, what's the worth of a soul? You know, like this kind of that religious question you'll get sometimes. And he's like, the worth of the soul is its potential to become like God. And if you think about that, the Lord has told us to be like him. So it's not a question of whether we can or not. The Lord told us we can. Don't know how long it'll take, but we can. So if you look at that, the potential to become like God, that worth, that's basically infinite. Our worth is limitless. Every human being on this earth has such great worth, you can't even comprehend it. You cannot even comprehend how important you are. And lots of people miss that. Lots of people miss that they have so much worth. Even if their parent or some friend doesn't see that, and they start thinking, well, other people don't see me, other people see me as worthless, it must be true. No, that's not true. That's not at all true. There is a God, the most powerful being in this universe, incomprehensible powers, says you have great worth. You have great worth. Mm-hmm. There is no discussion there.
Anyone's opinion here on earth is minuscule to what God may think of you.
Yeah.
Your worth to him and his love for you.
Yeah, and even if you, let's say you don't even, let's say you don't care about that. You're like, who cares what God thinks? Maybe you're even atheist. You're like, there is no God, so it doesn't matter.
So it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what he says.
God's worth means nothing.
Yeah. And in that case, I'd say, well, your worth then would be what you do, who you are, how you influence others. And if you cut your life short, you are robbing so many people of how you would have influenced them.
Yeah.
Like, I think of some of the people in my life, even some people I didn't like in my life. But if they weren't in my life, if they hadn't influenced me as they did, I would be in trouble.
Yeah. Influence, good or bad, is incredibly important for everyone. Like, the good stuff will help build you up, and bad influences you may have in your life maybe help push you away the bad stuff and help you find better things.
Think about that. Don't think about yourself, think about others. Think about what you would be taking away from all these people if you were to end your life. Mm-hmm. You're taking so much away. Yeah. Because the potential you have, even if you take God out of the equation, the potential of any human being is amazing.
Yes. We
can do things that baffle the mind.
Even one person can change another person's entire life.
Yeah. One person can change the world.
Yeah.
So don't end things.
No.
Don't do it, because not only do you have so much worth, but you have the chance to influence so many people. And maybe you only influence one person your entire life. But what if that person goes on to do amazing things? Just to give an example, what if you influenced a George Washington? What if you influenced Abraham Lincoln? What if you influenced someone who went on to literally change the world? Mm-hmm. It was only one person, but you still influenced that person. And who cares if you didn't change the world yourself? You had an effect on someone who did.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just trying to give reasons because we do have so much worth and we have so much potential to change the world. We shouldn't rob the world of us. Any other thoughts on that?
I don't think so. Well, we stuck on that one for a lot longer than I thought we would.
At first I thought we were just going to be done because I'm like, I don't have anything to say here. And then I'm like, oh wait, abortion's a thing. Oh wait, suicide's a thing.
I didn't even connect either of those to that. I was like, that's good. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on to the next one. This one's another long one, so pause me if I get to a place that you want to pause.
Okay.
All right. Husband and wife let me start over. Husband and wife have a solemn responsibility to love and care for each other and for their children. Children are a heritage of the Lord. Parents have a sacred duty to rear their children in love and righteousness, to provide for their physical and spiritual needs, and to teach them to love and serve one another, observe the commandments of God, and be law-abiding citizens wherever they live. Husbands and wives, mothers and fathers will be held accountable before God for the discharge of these obligations.
Okay, that is a big one. But
it's all pretty much one thing, so I don't know if
yeah, I mean, there's just there's two things in there that I would highlight, but you can say something first if you want to do that.
It is incredibly important that all children have a very loving mother and father. I see so much of the world where kids lack one of these roles, or lack an aspect of these roles from whatever the scenario. And it affects these people for life. And it's something that I don't think a lot of people understand. People will be like, I don't know, like this kid's a lot of responsibility. I have so much else going on right now. I can't focus on this kid right now. He's too much for me right now. I need to step away, neglecting the child. That effect will affect the kid all their life. It is very important, I believe, for both a mother and a father to have a very loving relationship with their child. And again, it's something I see robbed of a lot of kids way too much. It's incredibly important for everyone. There are life lessons that are taught through each examples of love from a mother and a father, both towards the children and even towards each other as parents.
Most kids, where everyone is looking at them and being like, oh, this is a problem child, they're always causing issues with everyone, whether it's like teachers talking about them or just other people talking about like, your child's so bad. I wouldn't say in every scenario, but in many scenarios, when you see a kid who is doing things like that, like acting out, being disrespectful, being rude, all these things, it's because of what's happening at home.
Like a neglect or something like that.
Yeah, when you see people who both the parents genuinely love their children, typically they don't have many problems. Mm-hmm. Everyone will have some problems, but overall, like, their kids usually don't have that many problems. Like when you have these kids who are walking around, you're like, holy crap, how is your kid so good? Like, are you sure that's a child? And
sure that's a child? I think that's an angel.
It's like, you're like, how does that happen? And typically the answer is just how much love the parents are giving those kids. Mm-hmm. And it's so important. It's so important because if parents aren't genuinely loving their children, giving them attention, and I don't mean like be a helicopter parent that is always there controlling them, but just giving them love and affection, letting them know you care. actually saying it, not just doing things, like everything, being there for them, treating them as, like it said, a heritage of the Lord, something the Lord has given you. That child is a gift from God.
Yeah.
And if you treat them that way, that's going to change things. That is going to change so many things. It's going to make them become amazing adults. It's going to make them become people that you'll be proud of.
Yeah, and loving parents themselves, hopefully one day.
Yeah. But on the opposite end, if a parent isn't loving, they don't give their children the time of day, then you start seeing like all these problems. They act out, they're disrespectful, they're just not good. And it's not because they are trying to be bad, they don't know any better. They weren't taught any better. They weren't given love. And beyond that, they'll start looking for love wherever they can find it. And sometimes that leads to some pretty dark places. Whether they're going into gangs, whether they're going to artificial things, unnatural things, like they will look for love wherever they can find it. And if they're not getting it from their parents, the people who should be the first ones to give them love, they're going to find it somewhere else. And often it is not going to be in a good place.
Yeah. And that's not to say that in every single scenario where a kid is grown up maybe without a father in the picture or a mother, in whatever case, they're automatically going to be like, all right, I'm a piece of crap kid.
Yeah.
It's not a constant formula, but it is, I would say, a majority, unfortunately. I would like a lot of the people, like I went to a little bit of a unusual high school where it had a lot of these kids. A lot of kids who either had horrible relationships with their parents due to negligence or some other reason, or just didn't have their parents in the picture in the first place. And a lot of them were making really bad decisions, whether that was substance abuse, being in certain groups of people, like gangs or something that they shouldn't be in. It affects the child a lot. And I wish a lot of people would be able to stand up and take a lot more responsibility when it comes to this, because it's not easy raising a kid. None of this is. And like being happy and go-getty with a kid, I'm sure it has its struggles. It can't always be super upbeat. But having unconditional love, I think, is incredibly essential for any kid growing up in a home. And even for like a husband and wife, having like unconditional love towards each other not only builds both of you up together through marriage or through your relationship with Christ and God, but also helps bring up your children too and the people around you, because that's an example that you're setting of what love should look like. I just wish more of the world understood this. Yeah,
100%. And you could almost say, like what we're talking about right now, what we've said so far about loving, that's kind of more universal, I guess you could say. But if you look at it a little more like religious, in the proclamation it talks about how parents have a responsibility to rear their children in righteousness. That goes beyond just loving them, that's also teaching them. Because again, children are going to learn somewhere. If they don't learn from you, they'll learn from something else. In this case, when I think about that, there's a lot of kids now too that maybe they do have parents that care about them, but they still are little snots. Totally brats. And that's because their parents aren't teaching them. They love them, but they don't help them make any decisions at all. That's like the far end. Like they don't want to be like, oh, I don't want to control my kids. That's bad. I want to give them a choice. But then they jump to the whole other end of the spectrum and they do nothing for their kids except tell them they love them. Which, at least they're doing that. At least they're letting their kids know they love them. That is good. But if you're not giving them any direction, if you're not teaching them, if you're not guiding them, you're really missing out on a huge role of the parent.
Yeah, 100%.
Of parenting. Because, I mean, look into the past. I feel like you're a pretty good guy, but most of your generation...
You're going to crap in my entire generation.
Well, a lot of my generation too, actually. But I've seen just how disrespectful we are.
Yep.
We're snots. We're just jerks.
I know I'm the worst.
I haven't seen you do that. I haven't seen you do that. So you're good. But like the younger generations, they have no respect. They have no like sense of, I almost want to say it as like honor. Maybe that sounds cheesy, but
Honor's a real thing. Honor's a real thing that should be upheld.
like they don't have this sense. They only care about themselves. They only care about themselves. And that shows in what they do and how they treat everyone else. And it's like me, my brothers and sisters got it worse because there was 6 of them before me, so I got it a little easier. But I had discipline. I was taught to respect people. I was taught that it's not all about me. I mean, for example, if I were to talk back to mom when dad was there, that's like, if you've seen old movies where it's like dad's coming and the kids just start running because they're terrified, that would have been my home. Like, if you talked back to mom in front of dad, you're liable to get slapped. It's not going to be pretty.
Are we advocating for belts to come back?
Honestly, a little bit.
In the right circumstance.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't be like, I don't know, some minor thing and get belted. But there should be discipline. There should be discipline.
I've been thinking about this analogy as we're going through this, and I'm trying to formulate it, and I think I've got it. This might be a little broken, but something that I'm imagining parenting is like is you have a kid in the woods. What your job as a parent is to pave a path through these dark woods for the child to walk down. But it's not just walking down, you also have to warn them about the bears that are in the woods, about the poisonous berries not to eat on the way, about the wolves, about all these other dangers that come with it. So yeah, these are dangerous woods, and your job as a parent is to pave out this path for them to follow down. And it's also to teach them about these dangers and about how to walk down this path safely. That requires a lot of discipline. You got to teach the kids about the dangers of the woods and being sure that they stay on the path. And that requires some discipline. Sometimes they're going to break off from the path. They're going to go poke the bear. They're going to go eat the poisonous berry. And they're going to learn that it's bad. And it is your job to then discipline them further and be like, hey, this is bad. Come back to my path. This is a good berry. This is a rabbit, not a bear. Won't hurt you. But yeah, and going further with that analogy is if there was no parent to teach them that, they're just walking into the woods blind, not knowing anything, and they're going to get in a lot of trouble. Now apply that analogy to real life. If a kid doesn't have a parent, they're walking in blind with no lessons, with no love, with no anything to help guide them through the forest of life. Anyway, it's important for parents to be able to teach the kids through discipline and through love, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, those things are very important, both love and discipline, because if your kid doesn't have discipline, look at what's happening to kids nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of problems, a lot of things that aren't going good. Mm-hmm. And then I guess the last part of that is, along with the teaching, is not only are you supposed to teach them about life, but you're supposed to teach them about God.
Yeah.
You should teach your kids about God. I know I've actually run into some parents who are like, oh, I'm just going to wait till they're like 12 or something and then they can choose what religion they want to be.
I've always had an issue with that. There's someone I follow online, or used to follow, who did that. It was like, I'm not, like, my kid doesn't come to church with me. Like, I don't let my kid come to church because I want him to choose. And I'm like, without exposure to anything, how are they going to choose? Because at the time of, like, at an age, they're not gonna know. They're not gonna know anything. And if you tell a kid, like, no, don't come with me to church today, okay? I want you to choose when it's time. They're gonna get comfortable in the lifestyle that they're living and not want to change. Mm-hmm. I've never understood that thought process. Like, teaching God at a very young age, like being a parent, teaching your kid about Christ, I think is incredibly essential for kids growing up, and helps build the faith, I think, a lot. I mean, sure, it's great to go further down the line and actually maybe have a better ability to understand a lot of things that come with the gospel. But it's still important to learn these things at a young age, that Jesus loves you, that popcorn pops on apricot trees.
Does it?
But yeah, it's just, I've never understood that.
We are not being good parents if we are not teaching our children about the Lord. That is huge. Huge, huge, huge. And if we're waiting, oh, they can choose when they get older, like, no. You don't necessarily have to force your kids to believe things, but you should teach them.
Yeah.
You need to teach them. You can't just let them be idle and go do whatever they want, because here's the thing. If you're not teaching them about God, that is a perfect opportunity for the enemy of God, for Satan, to be like, hey, they're not getting any of the good. I'm going to fill them totally up with bad. This is easy.
Yep.
So we can't delay teaching children about God, teaching them the truth, because the enemy of truth will come in and fill their heads with lies if they don't have the truth.
It's also interesting because it is by choosing to not involve your kid in the teachings of Christ, you are in turn denying Christ, which I don't know what verse it is, but it is said in the scripture. I think it was part of the Sermon on the Mount. Like, that's bad. Don't do that.
It is bad.
It's one thing to not deny. It's one thing to deny God to yourself, but it's another thing to deny it to other people. Don't do it.
Don't hide your light.
You are like, if Jesus was standing right next to you, and you look at little Timmy, and you say, "I don't want you to come to church with me today," or "I'm not going to teach you about these gospels yet." You think Jesus would approve? You think Jesus would be like, "Smart move"? It doesn't make sense to me.
It's so important. Like, I really think those three things, and I think this not necessarily because I've had much experience with it. I mean, I have from my own parents. I definitely have firsthand experience that way. But I've also been around plenty of whole families and broken families. I mean, half of my siblings have been divorced. Like, I've been around broken families in my own family, friends' families. I've been around whole families that are just, they're tight. They're together. Like, I've been around both sides, and those three things really do not only build the children, but strengthen the family as a whole. If you're showing love, if you're teaching them lessons they need for life, and if you're teaching them about God. Like, those three things are 100% the parent's responsibility to teach. They can't force it. They may teach it and the child just doesn't receive it, but that's different. Yeah. The fact is, the parent has an obligation to teach and to love their children.
I think a perfect example of this is my own life story, because I was raised up in the church. I went to church like every single Sunday with my family, but it was exactly that. I didn't receive a lot of things. And in turn, I ended up leaving the church. And after some time, I ended up opposing the church pretty harshly. But I think a perfect example is what my dad did. Is he taught me as a kid all these wonderful things about the gospel, and took me to church and did all these things. But when I chose, using the agency that I have, to step away from the church, he respected that. Which was, I think, is what people should do. He didn't be like, okay, good job, like, you're leaving the church, good job. It was like, okay, you are allowed to use this agency that you have. He still encouraged me to go to church every single Sunday. He would, or almost every single Sunday, he would ask me if I wanted to go to church with him, because he still wanted to share this part. He still wanted to teach the gospel to me. And even though I wasn't receiving it, I refused almost every single time, he still put forth the effort to want to teach. And I think that's something that I think a lot of people do. If you and your family go to church a lot, and one of your kids decides, I don't want to go to church anymore, it is important to let them keep their agency, not to force them to go to church, because that's just going to make them want to oppose it even more. I think that is incredibly important, and it is one of the reasons why, one of the reasons why I came back to the church as hard as I did when I reconverted, was because I was always encouraged, and I wasn't forced. If I was forced to go to church and any of that, I don't think I'd be where I am today spiritually. I would probably still be pretty opposing of the church and its beliefs and its doctrines and teachings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think something important also to remember is that teaching isn't always going to be easy. It's not going to be stuff you want to do all the time. I can remember a lot of conversations I had with my parents that I'm sure they did not like.
Name one. Walk me through a conversation that you had.
Sure. So, the temple, okay? For whatever reason, I never liked the temple. Mm-hmm. I did not like the temple. And I let my dad know very clearly one day, because I was supposed to go and do baptisms. Let him know very clearly that I did not like the temple. It was boring. I didn't enjoy being there. And I kind of went off on it. And he got real stern with me and just told me to suck it up. Not everything is about you. And he let me have it. Just with his words, he destroyed me. And I'm sure that wasn't easy for him to just chastise me and tell me how wrong I am and tell me that I'm obviously not seeing things how they actually are. And just he was very stern with me. I don't think it's something he enjoyed doing. But sometimes you need to be stern. Sometimes you need those things. Yes, afterward you should show an increase of love. That's actually what it says in the scriptures, that at times you need to correct with sharpness and then show an increased amount of love. But teaching your children is not always going to be easy. In fact, I would probably say, depending on the kid, I guess, for me, I think it probably wasn't easy 75% of the time.
I was a horrible kid. I know that for sure.
It took me, I was homeschooled, and it took me until I was almost 10 to read at a basic level at all, because I was just the most stubborn little prick. I would literally sit there for hours just refusing to read. I would rather sit there doing nothing than try to read. I was a stubborn little prick. So I am sure in my case, my parents teaching me was not a fun experience. But they muscled through it, and now I couldn't imagine if I wasn't taught where I would be. I would probably be in some gang somewhere, maybe in the mafia, I don't know, somewhere where I could just like be stupid and like beat people up. I don't know. But I have no idea where I would be if not for my parents teaching me.
Right.
I probably wouldn't be in a good place.
Yeah.
So it is parents' obligation to love and teach, but that is not always going to be easy. Sometimes it's going to be very hard. There's going to be a lot of tears sometimes, especially when your children walk away from you for one reason or another. It's not going to be easy.
No.
But that doesn't mean you can ignore it. I mean, the very last thing said in what you read is that parents are going to be held accountable by God for their obligations to their children. That's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Just because it's hard doesn't mean you can shirk it unless you are fine with judgment. So not only is it your obligation, but it is an expectation of God that you do it.
Yeah.
So really, parents need to love and teach their children. It is becoming, it kind of feels like a lost art.
It is, 100%.
And
unfortunately, I think the dream of parenthood is being lost to a lot of people.
it's not important anymore. A simple career is more important than a family to most people now.
Yeah.
Which is baffling.
It is baffling. It baffles
Because, I mean, it's funny because, and I've said this before, but I'm even kind of on the side of not wanting a family. But I understand how important families are. Like, saying no to that, even though I am kind of in the boat where it's like, I would kind of rather not. I'm not going to say no to it because I know the importance of it.
Right.
I know that God's will is more important than my will. And looking at past, learning from the past, children were more important than gold. They were more important than anything. Parents would do literally anything for their children in the past. That was the thing. If someone was barren, if they couldn't have children, that was the worst thing that could happen to them. It was literally the worst thing that could happen to them. They couldn't bear children. And I mean, now some people would be like, oh, that'd be great. But like back then, it's just crazy how much we have shifted. Going from children are worth more than gold. They're worth sacrificing your life for, whether literally or figuratively, to, nah, just get rid of them. We don't need children. It's crazy how well Satan has warped the way we see the family.
Yeah, because honestly, it is unfortunate. It's kind of going back to the first paragraph that we read, but like children are seen as kind of an inconvenience because it is all about life is all of a sudden all about the career, all about how much of the world you get to see, how much life you get to live, and children are just seen as a nuisance because for some reason life has to stop once you have kids. And I think that is a very bad way to view the joy of having a family.
Yeah.
There's so much joy in that. It's not always easy. As you said earlier, some kids can be pricks. Me too. But there's so much joy. And I see it all the time. And through my own family, through other families, there's so much joy to parenthood. And it really is a lost art that I think the world is forgetting. And it does break my heart over.
And I think one last thing I would say, moving towards like the starting of that paragraph, we focused kind of more on the second part, but the starting part of how parents, like the mother and the father, have, I guess maybe responsibility would be a good word, but towards each other. So like we really have been focusing on their responsibility for their children. But in fact, do you want to go back and just read that first part real quick? I just want to make sure I'm saying this correct, really.
Yeah. Husband and wife have a solemn responsibility to love and care for each other and for their children. Children are an heritage of the Lord.
Yeah. So I think it's very telling that it starts off with they have a responsibility to love each other, and then it says to love their children. I think that's very, very telling, because yes, 100% parents need to love and teach their children, as we've been talking about. But beyond that, they need to love each other. And that actually comes first. Like, lots of people will look at it and they'll think, okay, the children come before me loving you to the spouse. And maybe you would disagree, but I think that is not correct. I don't think that's the right way to look at it.
Like the children being...
Yeah, the children should not be more important than your husband or your wife.
I would agree with that.
Because not only could that lead to the family breaking up because there's no relationship growing between the mother and the father, and that could destroy the family, and then they don't have a mother and a father together anymore. Not only that, but just children aren't always going to be there in the home with the parents. Mm-hmm. Parents have a responsibility to grow their own relationship too.
Yeah.
They need to be very close. They need to work on loving each other, because it's like there's been so many cases I've seen where they don't even really, there's not much going on between the mother and the father. It's just towards the kids. Mm-hmm. It's like sometimes they don't even like each other. It's just good. They're only together because they have kids.
Yeah.
And that is not at all okay. Yeah. That is not at all okay. Your first responsibility is to your spouse. Mm-hmm. You need to love them first.
Yeah, I would second that a lot. Honestly, I think that is one of the main reasons why my parents' marriage ended up failing. Like, my parents are divorced, and I think that's one of the main reasons, is because the kids became the priority over each other. Something that I believe is something that should be swapped. Yeah, I think that's probably one of the main reasons why marriages end up failing, is because your view is shifted all of a sudden from being so focused on one person to being focused on another person, which is great. It's not, none of this is to say neglect your child.
Yeah.
But you should never sacrifice a marriage over anything else. I would say the only other reason would be like for God. Like, there's a hierarchy of things you should care about. It's like God, marriage, children, and like other things in life, like career or money or whatever.
I think a lot of people don't understand that. Mm-hmm. That, because obviously, I mean, we've made it very clear, I think, that the children are important, but that relationship between the wife and the husband is even more important.
It is.
And I mean, it's when I look at my parents, I think the reason they have been together for how old am I? 33, add 20, like 55 to 60 years, somewhere in there, a long time. I think the reason they've been together so long is because they have prioritized that relationship between them. Every single week, I remember my parents like doing date night and stuff. Like, every single week, they're just like, no, you're on your own. We're going to have a date. Like, they prioritized each other. And I can remember that because it was normal. It wasn't like every once in a while, it was constant. They always prioritized that. And I mean, my dad, you knew for a fact he loved her way more than he loved us. Not to say he didn't love us, not saying that. But if, like I mentioned earlier, if one of us talked back to mom, you'd find out real quick who he favors. He favors mom. So it's like, just, they always prioritized each other. And I think that's why they're still together after 55 plus years. That is the first and most important part of that paragraph, I think, and I think that's why they put it first, is they should love each other and their children.
Yeah, I think needless to say, and I already stated this, but it's good to be restated, none of this means neglect your children.
Yeah.
Be like, I'm all in with my wife, be gone to me. It's in addition, maybe just with a little extra, with your spouse.
Yeah, I mean, you need both. You need both,
but
you can't neglect.
Yeah, neglecting either one is going to end up in problems later on.
Yeah. So, children are important, but so is your spouse. You
100%.
can't neglect either of them, but in my opinion, the spouse relationship is more important. I'm not saying you have to pick one or the other. That's not what I'm saying.
It's not a pick and choose.
But that is more important.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've probably gone for a long time. So
I have. We want to make this a 2-hour episode to get the rest of it done.
Part 4, it's coming. Any last words about anything that we've talked about?
The joys of family are real. And they're available. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that because they're not available to everyone. But
in time, they will be.
In time.
Even people with same-sex attraction, the Lord will sort things out.
Yeah. I'll say there is a lot of joy to be found in the family. And it's something that I hope everyone can aspire to have one day. It's something that I think is essential for your own life, but also your relationship with God. Like, having a family to help support you in your faith is phenomenal. Yeah, family good, God good.
Agree. And also just remembering that all life is sacred. All life is sacred. Whether unborn or the grown adult.
Yeah.
All life is important. And family good.
Family good.
So,
all
right, thank you for being here for part 3. There will be a part 4. He said we'd get through more, but I didn't let him.
No, you didn't let me. Don't worry, we're getting the next one. Well, we might be able to finish it in part 4, but the next one, you thought this last paragraph was big. The next one is double that size.
Oh, no.
So we might get through one paragraph in part 4. This might be a part 5.
Oh, jeez.
But we'll see.
We'll get there eventually. Yeah, so thanks for being ever near. If you're liking the channel, liking the video, like it, subscribe for more content, drop us comments. I'm sure there's people who want to. Even if you don't want to say something nice.
Honestly, please say something. Say whatever is on your mind, because honestly, like,
let's have a conversation.
Yeah, let's be open to the conversation. Comment what you think. Also, I think it's just good to have the conversation and just kind of exchange ideas, even if neither one walks away with anything learned or just filled with bitterness. It's still good to talk.
Hopefully, something comes out of it. But yeah, it's important to talk. It's important to talk.
It is.
Some of our shorts are doing that.
Yeah.
The shorts we've been putting out, we've gotten lots of anti. Yes. People are talking. Not that I only want anti. I would like real conversations too.
Conversations would be good too. But
that would be preferable. But
here's what I'll say. Don't put in the comments. Don't just spam cult. It doesn't change anything.
Oh, you know they're going to do it now.
I know. Even the members are not going to be like, cult.
Just to razz you, people who aren't commenting but are nice, just start doing it. Oh, jeez. Yeah. So, comment. Hopefully good. Let's talk real like. And if you have something you want to see us discuss, post that too. We'll have a discussion about it in a casual sit down. I can't even think of the right word.
Discussion.
Situation.
I don't know.
Setting, there we go. Setting, a casual setting.
We've done a frequently asked questions on the church side of things, but what about the ever near side of things? Which I guess is just an extension of the churches.
Okay.
But they're personalized to us. And probably just spamming cult. I'm bitter about that because it's stupid. Doesn't help anyone.
Well, I mean...
Just disrespectful.
It's great, though, because if you think about it, if someone just sits there and goes, cult, you can just be like, oh, thank you. So I'm just like every other religion.
I mean,
Thanks for adding me to the group, boys. Okay, let's stop there. That's enough. Thanks for being here.
Now that we've got all of our controversies out.
Bye-bye. Go be a good boy or a good girl.